Good afternoon, everyone, or I should say good day. I should say good day because who knows when you're going to be watching this video. Um, this video is not a video to pick on Sammy Sosa because I think that's been done more than enough, and it's too easy to do with his recent change in appearance. If anything, it's to highlight or provide an example and further clarity on a topic I had touched on previously on the, I don't want to say insignificance, but the very small significance of race being an identifying qualifier of each individual. Now, as I stated, I'm not getting on Sammy Sosa about his skin bleaching shenanigans or the people who do attack his skin bleaching, and they're prefacing it by calling him a former great player. To digress for a moment, if you'll allow me, I had Sammy Sosa's baseballs card as a kid. He never hit more than 40 home runs till after being in the league 9 years, which means all of his stats that pushed him over that allowed him to be even considered as an all-time great, because they're not going to allow him in the Hall of Fame, are a result of alleged steroids. So how did that make him great? And clearly the Hall of Fame committee shares that opinion as well. So those who if you want to talk about Sammy Sosa's drastic change in skin color, fine. But please stop prefacing it with him being great. It's not like Barry Bonds, who was great and was going to get in the Hall regardless. He had the stats to get in the Hall regardless, the Hall of Fame regardless. Sammy Sosa did not have the stats to get in. If his career ended before his little 4-year run where he and Mark McGwire were going back and forth and he was hitting 66 and all these great stats of home runs, then yeah, I could see your point about him being called great. Barry Bonds was great. I hope I didn't say Barry Sanders before. If I did, I meant to say Barry Bonds. But Barry Bonds was great before any steroid allegations came into play. But Sammy Sosa, Mr. Sosa, no. But digress over. Now I get back to my point already in progress. This particular video is to point out that race is a very small part of our identities. And here's why. If you notice, though Mr. Sammy Sosa is now effectively Caucasian, if you will, it doesn't matter if he wasn't born that way, because there are plenty, and let me tell you why. There are plenty of examples of mixed people in Western society who are accepted as white or Caucasian until it is found out that they are of mixed heritage. Wentworth Miller, of Prison Break fame, and Rashida Jones, Quincy Jones's daughter, are a couple of examples of this. Which means that, and this would ultimately mean that race is based on appearance, according to how we view it, more so than genetics in our society. Mr. Sosa is still considered as himself. He still has access to the same What I mean by that is that he still has access to the same bank account that he had from before, with his career earnings within it. Before his From before his skin bleaching, after he bleached his skin, and now looks the way he does, with a bright white skin, bright Caucasian skin, or seemingly Caucasian skin. He still has access to his bank account that he made previously as a dark skinned person, as well as all the other property that he owned as a dark skinned person, as well as his career achievements, which he had acquired um, as a dark skinned person or a dark pigmented person. The point being, though his appearance has changed drastically, his identity hasn't. For those identitarians out there, his actions are what has identified him more than his race/appearance. We could reverse roles and use a hypothetical of, say, a white person who walks around um, for the rest of their life with a deep tan all the time, even in winter, even during winter. They might live in the Northeast and just go to the tanning bed all the time. Or a person who goes to a party wearing blackface, as you like to see some whites do on occasion, just to, I don't know what they're thinking there. It's I guess, a poor attempt at humor, racial humor in some way. Um, or if we use the example of a Caucasian person who was in a house fire and died, and their body became charred. Though their appearance has changed, that person is still considered as themselves from previously, irregardless of their change in appearance. They too would still be attributed to their previous actions or acts. No different than a capital murder fugitive who drastically changed their appearance and was finally captured. They are still attributed to their previous crimes, no matter how much they change their appearance, whether they do some plastic surgery or not. We might even be able to apply this same line of logic to transsexuals and cross-dressers as well, which has become a topic at the forefront since Bruce Jenner expressed that he felt that he was a female trapped in a male's body, essentially. Is Bruce Jenner not still Bruce Jenner, irregardless of him dressing as a female and wanting to be referred to as Caitlyn Jenner? And let me tell you what I mean. When he asked to be, when he's saying that he's now a female and saying that to signify that he would like to be referred to as Caitlyn Jenner, did he also renounce his property or his Olympic medals when he made his cross-dressing known to the general public? No. He kept his money and his property and all that he had accumulated from before. And since that is the case, how is Caitlyn Jenner / Bruce Jenner, or excuse me, how is Caitlyn Jenner any different from Bruce other than in appearance? He is still attributed, he still attributes himself. Never mind our thought on the matter, but he still attributes himself to his previous life, to his previous appearance, to all his achievements and actions from his previous appearance. Or he would renounce those things. Is that not the case? In conclusion, each of our identities, and I hope you're listening, those who like to hide behind their race, in each of our identities are mostly based on our actions. I know we could say fingerprints, um, genetics, DNA slash DNA. And yes, those do also play a major role. But on the, remember, life's about choice. And how does one make choices? Through actions. So I want you to notice it's when people change their actions that others say, oh, this person is different. This person has changed. They have changed their habits. You see what I'm saying? A judge does not release someone that they had sentenced on certain stipulations or conditions until they have met those stipulations and conditions, meaning until they have changed their actions, that their criminal behavior that brought them in front of the judge in the first place. If that judge sentences you based on you having to meet certain criteria in demonstrating that you have changed in some way, they are not looking for you to change your appearance, are they? What identified you to that judge then is your actions, is it not? So what I am saying to you is that we have been looking at identity all wrong. And I hope the identitarians are paying attention to this video. Our actions are what really defines us. Appearance is only one of those markers, but the main thing that identifies us is what we do. You can take that when we start to take down the characteristics and properties of other species. We identify them not only on their appearance, but what they are able to do. A lion is not only a lion because it has a mane and because it has certain fur or looks like a cat, an overgrown cat. No, it also has to act like a lion, perform those same actions that a lion does for us to believe it is a lion. If a lion just looks like a lion, let's use this example. Two creatures that look similarly but are different. There's these two snakes, these two types of snakes. There's a coral snake, which is poisonous, or excuse me, maybe not. Is the coral snake the one that's poisonous? And then you have a lookalike. Now, how do we know the difference? The coral snake's acts different. It exhibits a different behavior. Exhibits a different capability than this lookalike snake that cannot mimic those abilities, or that can only mimic its appearance, the coral snake's appearance, and not its actual abilities. I hope that was a good enough example to wrap that up with. But thank you for taking the time, and I would be happy to engage in a meaningful exchange of ideas on anyone who wishes to take issue with this assessment. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen. Oh, and subscribe, AXIOM TV, the Thinkers channel. It's all of our channel. You're a human being, which means that you have a brain to think. That is what qualifies us as a human being above all the other species, or differentiates us from all the other species. So then that means you need to be a part of this channel, because you are a thinker as well. This is the people's channel. This is the Thinkers channel. Thinker salute, subscribe, like the video if you think that you've gotten something out of it. And I hate when people just tell you to automatically like a video. No, don't like it unless you feel like you've gotten something worth meaningful out of it. And hit the notification bell icon so that you can be alerted to any following new material as we release it. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.